We are all able to breathe freely thanks to our respiratory system. Trachea, also known as part of respiratory system, acts as a windpipe and helps us regulate this system more efficiently. But how? You can only learn this by looking into its histology. Welcome back to sqadia.com, where we would study about the histology of trachea in detail. Well, trachea, which is 4 inches long and 2.5 centimeter wide, fibrocartilaginous tube, just like a pipe beginning at the level of cricoid cartilage, and that is why it is also called as windpipe. So, what is the purpose of this pipe-like organ? Well, it has 3 important functions. The principal function of trachea is that it is the passage from where the air passes from the pharynx to the bronchi, and ultimately the air goes into the lungs. Now the question arises, whether this air goes as it is along with the dirt in your lungs. No. This is the purpose for which the trachea is present. It performs the function of mucociliary clearance and moisten the air, by which removal of deposited particles takes place from the respiratory tract, and this moistened and warmed-in air protects the delicate tissues of lungs from getting damaged. It propels foreign particles towards the pharynx from where they are expelled, and so in this manner, it protects the respiratory surface. Okay. So, we all know that trachea is located in the lower respiratory tract, but where is its exact location? Trachea begins under the larynx or voice box and runs down behind sternum and extends downward to just above the 5th thoracic vertebrae, where it is divided into left and right primary bronchi, as you can visualize in this illustration. Now, before studying the microscopic features of trachea, we will begin studying the anatomy to recall its major parts together. Here we have an image of respiratory tract. That tube-like organ we can see here is the trachea or windpipe. If we visualize its structure, it consists of almost 16 to 20 rings of hyaline cartilage, called as tracheal rings, which are shown by these circular blue lines in trachea. These rings balance the trachea and prevent it from bending. Then we have a ligamentous structure, called as annular ligament, which comprises of elastic and collagen fibers, and help in providing flexibility to trachea during movement of air. On the lower side, the trachea divides into 2 bronchi, and this point are called as Tracheal Bifurcation, where the trachea further undergoes division. The last structure we will study in anatomy of trachea is Carina, which is an oriented cartilaginous ridge on the lower part of trachea, and it separates the opening of right and left bronchi. Let us suppose that we have tracheal tube, and we want to study it transversely so that we can view more details about it. We will cut the trachea transversely or horizontally, and right here, we will get this view of trachea. Now we will study the structures present transversely in trachea on microscopic level. Right here, we have a thick band of smooth muscles located in the surroundings of cartilaginous ring, and this band is our Trachealis muscle. This muscle helps in providing stabilization to the entire trachea. Not only this, it contracts during coughing. When it contracts, the tracheal diameter decreases, and so it helps the air to move out of the lungs with greater force. The next structure, present on the transverse section, which are located throughout the body performing different functions. What are they? So they are glands. Where there are glands, there are secretions too. So all right. Here, these glands produce mucus secretions, which forms a defensive lining over the layers of tracheal epithelium. The last important transverse section resembles a ring, and we have already learned about that, so they are cartilage rings. They are C-shaped, and so it becomes easy to remember them, as C also stands for cartilage ring. So this was all for the intro. Stay tuned as we will dive deep into the histology ahead.